Okay, alright, first things first, we're on the ferry. Second thing, this is just an intro, detailing how we got to this point. Thirdly, if you're easily offended, don't watch us, you'll get upset. Okay, right, where should we start? Back in September-ish, found a leak on the bus. Really bad, really bad. Called over a load of people, no one would fix it. Ended up with Truck Tech, Mark and Andy, legends, absolute bloody legends. Fixed it up for us nice and cheap. Did all the put new steels in, new insulation, all that, perfect. Got that ready for Christmas. Coincided with that, we put the bus in for an MOT, and it failed on a number of basic things, like light out, that type of thing. But it also failed because there was a little crack in the windscreen. Maybe the crack was 6 inches, something like that. Anyway, so ring the insurance company, they say, yeah, you're covered. Get it ordered. Next thing, National Windscreens contact us and say the windscreen's going to cost £5,000. The insurance company will only pay £1,000. Alright, fine. We then contacted some dude over in America who deals with American Eagle RVs. He sorted us a windscreen for £1,000, and then it was £1,500 to ship it over to the UK. Cool, order that, no worries. I organised the shipping myself. Beautiful, right? He packages up the windscreen in a bloody big crate. I give all the details to the shipping company. 19th of December it's supposed to arrive. Shipping company needs some export documents from this dude over in America. He fails to provide them. He fails to provide them for 4 bloody boats. So we missed the boat that arrived on the 19th of December, the one that arrived on the 26th of December, 2nd of January, 9th of January. And then it actually arrived with us on the 2nd of February. So we were supposed to be leaving on the 2nd of January, so we were already a month delayed. But okay, we're all good. It's given us time to organise a few things. So I've got a big crate in front of me with a windscreen in it. I've had the leak fixed, all that. So I'm ready to go. So I changed all the phones over to European networks, etc, etc. I then got what they call an AHC, Animal Health Certificate, for the cat and the dog. Pretty bloody expensive, it's about 300 quid, something like that. Fortunately we'd already had the rabies and the titer test and all that done for the cat and dog. Turkey's a horrible place in regards to regulations for pets, so we had to do this titer test, which there's only one lab in Europe that does it. I think it's in Germany, so I have to send off the results, blah blah blah. It's very expensive. I think that was 300 quid per pet, but anyway, so we did all that, only to open up the windscreen and it for it to be the wrong bloody windscreen, doesn't fit the bus. Cool, alright, I'll ring this dude in America. He says, yep, don't worry, our mistake, we'll make it right. Cool, alright, I'll leave it with him for a couple of days. I'll ring him back. I say, right, I've put some stickers over the crack in the windscreen. Somehow I've managed to pass the MOT. I'll get onto the MOT shortly, but anyway, we put some stickers over this crack in the corner, and because it was just in the corner, it's not on the driver's side. Passed the MOT. Rings this dude. He says he'll make it right. So I'll ring him again and say, look, I've got the MOT now. I don't need the windscreen, right? So just offer me, give me a refund. He says I can only refund you for the windscreen, not for the shipping. Or he'll get me a new windscreen and ship it to me. That makes no sense, right? So I argued with him. He was adamant he was only going to pay for the windscreen and not the shipping, but yet he will send me a new windscreen and pay for shipping to anywhere in the world. Weird. So he then said they won't allow me, they, don't know who they are, won't allow me to do anything else. I said, who's they? He said, the office manager. I said, well, in that case, I ain't talking to you anymore. I need to talk to him. He says, he won't talk to you. I said, right, in that case, don't ever mention this office manager again. I ordered it from you, I'm getting a refund from you. That's how it's going to play out, right? He obviously wasn't happy with that. So I gave him a couple of days to think about it, and I rang him back. He changed his tune. He said, I'll give you a refund. I said, alright, cool. So how are you going to do that? Put it back on the card. Cool. But he says, I can only put on the card for the windscreen. I'll have to send you a cheque for the shipment. Okay, cool. I'll wait a couple more days. I'll give him a ring back, say there's no refund. He says, I've tried to put it back on the card, it won't accept it. Now this guy's got my number, he's got my email address, and he doesn't contact me ever. He doesn't ever respond to emails. He's a fucking prick. He's called Kenny. V-Zone or something in America. Only deals with American Eagle parts and stuff. So, long and short of it is he couldn't refund on the card, so I'm now waiting for 2 cheques from him for £3,000. Still haven't arrived. I'm obviously on the ferry. If they don't arrive, then my plans might change in 6 months and I might be on a plane to Kentucky to fuck this guy up. And I'll probably end up doing time. Something silly over the back of it. But you can't, you know, my annual income's probably double that, right? I'm not giving away 50% of my annual income because some prick wants to rip me off. We'll see how that plays out. For now, we'll just put that on the back burner and we'll enjoy our holiday. So, getting back to the MOT. Obviously put stickers over the windscreen. Now, Mark and Andy at Truck Tech, they changed my tyres because one of them blew out on him. He put it to 40 psi and it just exploded on him. If you've ever seen a truck tyre explode, it was a pretty big deal. Anyway, he survived. And I got 6 new tyres. That was about a couple of grand. Can't remember exactly. Just over a couple of grand. Anyway, my wheels have obviously wheel nuts, and then they have like a cap that goes over it, right? And he'd left the caps off because they needed to be retorqued up to 600 psi or whatever it is. So try and find an MOT garage, go on the government website, find this Mercedes dealership in Peterborough. Now, I've driven down to Peterborough, it's halfway to Harwich, my parents live near there, and put it in, and this guy comes out and he says, there's something fundamentally wrong with your bus. Fundamentally wrong. That's not what you want to hear, right? So, what's going on? So I walks over with him to the bus, he points at the wheels, he says they're steel wheels and alloy, no, steel nuts, alloy wheels. You can't do that. I'm like, what? It's passed an MOT for this before. Maybe they just didn't take the caps off. But I still needed retorquing. He was going to retorque it before he did the MOT, but he refused to do the MOT. Okay, cool. So I then ring an American parts guy in the UK, and I get him on video call and I explain the situation with these wheel nuts. He says the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. They look right to me. I think, oh, okay, I wish you were doing the MOT, but you can't do the MOT, right? So I then contact, I decide I need one garage that are going to retorque the wheels, and then I'll put the caps on and then get it MOT with a different garage so they don't have to take the caps off. So I did that, and the guys that retorqued the wheels, they were, what? I've never heard of this. I've never heard of the wheel nuts failing an MOT because they're steel on an alloy or whatever. So I said, well, that's the case, mate, it's, you know. And he said, let me guess who it is. I said, go on. He said, Inter-County in Peterborough. I said, yeah, got it in 1 minute. He said, yeah, they're useless, mate. You don't need to go. Don't go to them. Alright, cool. Well, I'm not going back to them. So anyway, he retorqued the wheels, put the caps on, take it to this other garage. On the way to the garage, I realise I haven't got a speedometer. It's not working. Shit. Okay. Go up, that's an MOT with a speedometer. But you can. Apparently, he didn't check it. And apparently he's supposed to go around with a hammer and check all these nuts on the wheels. He didn't do that. Anyway, got the MOT, who cares? I'm in Holland, no one's, yeah, whatever. So anyway, managed to get that MOT. So that's the leak, that's the windscreen, still not resolved, and that's the tyre situation. So getting the MOT was stressful, really stressful, because it just, one problem after another. And then once I was sorting all of them, I was ready to go. And my water pump broke, right? So, so I bought an exact replica of the water pump. It's got 4 screws, an inlet pipe and an outlet pipe, and a positive and a negative. That's it, right? Even me, who can't wire a plug, couldn't put that together, right? So I put it on, I still got no water. Yeah, something's not right. So I'll get back on Amazon, buy a second water pump. Still doesn't work. So now I've spent 300 quid on 2 water pumps. And I'm losing the will to live because it should just be a case of switching it over and I'm waiting to go, right? And I can't go without any water. Meanwhile, this is 2 months. 2 months. I'm like a little African child walking to a churchyard and filling up a couple of, I don't know, 4 litre milk bottles, or water bottles, whatever they are, 6 litre, I don't know. You know, I'm walking back a mile like a little African kid every day. And yeah, pissing in bottles, shitting in bags, no heating. Yeah, can't have a shower. Got no toilet in the bus because I've got no water. This is for 2 months, man. I can cope, right? But for Fiona, it was obviously quite rough. Anyway, turns out we rang about 30 RV motorhome people. This time of year they're all busy until April, May. Obviously we want to get away. This guy, really kind guy, NG Leisure, a guy called Toby, he came out, thought outside the box, did some tests. I'd already tested the water pump on a drill battery, so I knew the pump was working. I'd also had a multimeter on the positive and negative, so I knew I had 12.88 volts going through it. Didn't make sense to me. I've got power, pump works, what on earth's going on? Turns out I had a loose wire somewhere on the negative side, so it wasn't earthing. So we just earthed it. Now we had water. Beautiful, we're all good, we're ready to go, right? So yeah, that's us. So now then we drove to, I should add, the very first trip on on the bus, right? One of the things it failed the mirror, failed the MOT on, was a cracked mirror on the offside, right? And it's left hand drive, so it's on the right hand side. So Andy at Truck Tech, he put me on a new mirror. First journey, right? The first journey, I clipped mirrors with another HGV, smashed that mirror, can't get another one. So, okay, so that's detailing how we got to this point. Yeah, so the windscreen, when the windscreen was wrong, and we'd already sorted out this animal health certificate, it starts a 10-day clock, and you have to get across into Europe inside of that 10 days, and we obviously failed, so we had to pay another 150, 200 quid, whatever it was, can't remember, to this vet. He just turns up, he scans the dog with a microchip, checks the numbers right, and he charges you 200 quid for that. But it starts at 10-day clock. So we're now on the ferry to Harwich. We won't get on P&O ferries because of what they did, so we've gone from Harwich to Hooker, Holland, and then we're going to go on. Our first stop is going to be Larbrook, which is an old RAF base in Germany that I grew up on. My dad went over there with Bob Ankerson and set up the squadron for the GR1s, I think. 20th Squadron, I believe. I'll find out more information when I get there on Monday. After that, we don't really have any plans. If you've got any ideas as to where to send us, then we're open to ideas. I actually wanted to go and see the beaches at Calais, where all the immigrants were boarding. Fiona wasn't so keen, so we're not doing that. We're just going straight to Larbrook and then probably on to Prague, but we'll see where we end up. But we've got a weekend in Holland first, so we'll probably find a coffee shop and try one of these famous cannabis milkshakes or cakes or whatever they do. I don't know. God, I went to Amsterdam when I was about 18, 25 years ago or something. Yeah, so it'll be entertaining this weekend, hopefully. We've got a cat and a dog in a cabin. I'll show you a picture of the cabin later. It's tiny, really tiny, but it does the job. You have to have a cabin, they won't let you otherwise. Oh, the other thing that happened was we've got a step that's supposed to come out and in when you open the front door. For some reason it was stuck out, loose wire somewhere. Anyway, the guys at the garage, they got a step back in. I changed the fuse, it's come back out, I can't get it back in. Fortunately it doesn't come out further than the wing mirror, so I'm just driving with it anyway. But if I do clip someone, they're going to lose their fucking legs. So that doesn't matter. Yeah, that's us. So we'll post up another video, I guess when we get to Larbrook. We might post one up somewhere in Holland, we'll see. for now, we're on our way. Exciting. I should just mention, we have absolutely no money, but this has been my personal dream, Fiona's dream, mine from when I was a kid. You know, I used to move around every 3 years with the RAF. Had, oh, God knows how many schools. A lot of schools. I was always a new kid, never really settled anywhere, and that's kind of had a hangover into my adult life. Longest I've ever been in a job was with prison service. 10 years I did. Yeah, good times. But I'm happy to be on the roads. But we have absolutely no money. I mean, like literally, we have money for food and petrol and very little else. £1 a mile. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to play out. I really don't. It's one of the things that concerns me. Fiona's medication concerns me as well. Driving on the right hand side, although that doesn't concern me. In driving the bus, you know, you feel every bump in the road. You know, a little bit of camber change followed by a bump. Holy fuck! It feels like it's going to topple. You know, it's really like top heavy. So yeah, it's not fun. Generally on motorways it's alright. I've done a few kind of tighter roads, and that's not too bad because, you know, the other drivers are considerate. We've had a couple of brats. I literally do 30 mile an hour in the 60. I'll probably do 40 in the 60 to be honest, but I do 20 in the 30, you know, and I've never got above, I think, 54 mile an hour, even on the motorways. So yeah, you don't want to get stuck behind me, otherwise it'll take you a long time. Oh, one other thing, that, right, which is half a pint, on this bloody ferry, I was dehydrated to fuck, right, £4.50, they know how to make money. Anyway, that's me for now, so, the intro's done lads, see you soon.